Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fan Art Friday. In this video I'm drawing Venom, and it was requested quite a few times in previous videos, and I also saw quite a few people commenting about it on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, so I'm glad that I finally worked on it because it seemed like it was being requested quite a lot. And obviously I'm really excited to work on this kind of stuff. And if you have a suggestion for a drawing that you'd like to see me work on, then feel free to leave a comment below, and I'm going to be picking one and I'll work on a drawing for next week's video. This drawing took about 2 hours to complete, and I started off with a Pentel pocket brush pen for the outlines. I love using this pen, and I really recommend it for anyone who wants to work on this kind of stuff, or anyone who is interested in comic book style drawings. And then for the colouring of the drawing I used Copic Markers. For most of this drawing it only really required me to use grey tone pens, so that was a different kind of challenge this week. So I started off adding the darker grey outlines to just sort of get an idea of where the light's going to be, and then I started adding some lighter greys and left some highlights to add some extra texture to the drawing. And then I topped it off with the black Copic pen to just add the darkest shading around the top of the head, and it just kind of helps to boost the depth of the drawing. There's one part of this drawing that I really wasn't sure how I was going to actually create the effects that I wanted, and that was the gums of Venom, the highlights and the reflections of his gums. I imagined that was going to be so difficult to do, so I started off with a cardinal Copic marker, leaving some highlights because I wanted to show the reflections, but I wasn't really sure it was working so well, so I started adding some greys and just building up layers of grey. And then I went back and actually added highlights with a Uni-ball Signo broad pigment ink white pen. And I think this created an effect that I was actually quite pleased with, because it creates an almost 3D effect when you've got the highlights of the gums going around the mouth. So I'm actually quite happy with that. For the teeth it was really easy. I just had to add some grey Copic markers around the edges, and I left some highlights and added some highlights with a pen, and that's basically it. It really wasn't too difficult. I just had to basically I just had to start the drawing by thinking about where the light source was, and it's basically just exactly from the front. So once you've got that sorted out, you can really start to think about where the shadows and the lighting should be going. Throughout this drawing I used this pen to create the highlights, and I'm so pleased I bought this pen because it helps me so much to add depth and extra detail to drawings. Having highlights can really help to add texture, and it makes it brings an extra level of detail to a drawing. And for most of this drawing it's just about building layers of grey tones, and then just offsetting them with the different highlights. So it ended up only taking the 2 hours, which is definitely an improvement from my work previously, and that's what I'm trying to do with these Copic drawings. I'm trying to speed up my workflow and actually create more in the week. So I'm really happy that you like to see these drawings, and it means a lot to me that you're checking them out and you have all these drawing suggestions that I can work on. So feel free to leave them as much as you want, and I'm going to be going back and reading them, and I'll be trying to work on these videos every Friday. I love the fact that I can create drawings like this in maybe 2 hours with the Copic markers, because when I'm using a pencil it can take a minimum of like 5 hours, so it's definitely, it means that I can work on more in the week. I still love using the pencil as well, so I will go back to that sometimes, and so some of you have been asking about tutorial videos, and I'm going to be trying to upload more of them in the future. There have been so many drawing suggestions recently, and it means so much to me that you want to see me work on these drawings, and it's really given me so much inspiration, all these ideas that you're giving. It means so much to me, and I'm going to try and work on these videos for as long as I can. And I just want to say another thank you for all the support recently. It means so much to me to see all the support on this channel, and I have learnt so much even just this year, using all these different markers and stuff. I was inspired to work on all this because of you, and I'm having so much more fun working on this kind of stuff this year. So I really appreciate that you're giving me this kind of support, and I'm going to make sure that I create as much content as I can, and I'll be sure to keep these weekly videos going. As always, if you enjoy these kind of videos then make sure you're subscribed, and if you want to contact me via Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, I have all my social links in the description box below, and you can feel free to contact me there, and if you have any drawing suggestions then you can feel free to leave them there as well. And any likes, shares, favourites, that kind of support is greatly appreciated, and it really means a lot to me. Be sure to let me know what you think of this drawing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.